going into a session of trauma. That's not what it's all about. Yes. In this session, it's about having a little bit of fun, enjoying the process, like you said. So I won't be doing a trauma session. It will be more of your inner child coming out onto canvas in a nice way, in a loving way, in a happy way.
Just a little taster of what is coming up on the show. But first, please do like this video and subscribe to the channel. And also tell your friends and family about this podcast. Please let us know in the comments if you would like to hear any particular topic in relation to sleep or health. Then I will create a show especially for you, just for asking the question. So let's get on with the show. Welcome back again to another Empowering Family Health podcast. Today on the show, I am absolutely so excited for my guest, Angela Peacock. Oh my God, this lady is doing tremendous work in the world, and I really admire what she's doing. She's a lot of courage and determination to be doing the kind of work that she is doing. Angela, do you want to come in and just say a quick hello, and then I'll read out your bio? You're very welcome to the podcast.
Hi there. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on, Joanne. It's a pleasure, really.
We're going to be collaborating together and with a CARI event and Mums in Business with Aisling Owens Nash. Yeah, is that how you say your name? Aisling Owens
Nash?
Yeah. So we're all collaborating together to raise funds for CARI, and we're going to be talking all about that, all about trauma and this methodology that you have, Angela, to help people. And you're going to be facilitating an event very soon, and that we're going to talk all about. So before we dive into that, Angela, I am going to read out your bio. So listen to this, folks. So Angela is a trauma holistic creative arts facilitator for women who have dealt with major trauma in life to heal, so that they can finally feel comfortable and lead with full confidence. When overcoming the effects of trauma, they reclaim their power and gain back full control of their life. Angela has created a creative space, a vibe, and a step-by-step method to get beyond these issues and freedom from the pain of the past. They recover with a calm and clear view to carry on in their life. So Angela teaches these creative ways to help with their overall health in a holistic way. And she has links to all her Facebook, social media, and we're going to put all them in the show notes. So Angela, thank you so much for joining me. I'm absolutely privileged to be talking about this topic that's very close and dear to my heart.
Thank you. Yeah, it's it's been an amazing couple of months actually, trying to sort out what we're going to actually do. So
before we go into that, Angela, will you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about your background, and because I'm really curious why people do the work that they do. So can you give us a little bit of background maybe, and how you help people, and then we'll dive into that conversation.
Okay, so really I've always been an artist. I've always been creative, and that's my passion really. So if I went back, say, 30 years ago, my God, that's a long time ago. I had a sort of mental health issues, like with depression, panic attacks, and so on, an eating disorder. So I had to find a way, not only through counselling, but to find a way in myself to, when you get a trigger, and if people understand trauma, when you have a trigger, it triggers the body.
Yeah.
And you can go into all sorts of conditions, where mine was panic attacks, full blown. So I needed something.
That's scary.
Yeah. I needed something to calm me. And it doesn't matter how much counselling that I would go through. Okay. Might get 1 hour in that week, and then the rest of the time you're on your own.
Yeah.
So I needed to find something desperately to calm me. And the way I found was to paint. But when I say I'm an artist, like, you know, everyone thinks about Picasso and, you know, Leonardo and that.
Are you a Picasso?
I wish I was. But, you know, it's about really what's in your heart.
Yeah.
You know, what's in your gut, like, you know, your inner child, and whatever was going inside me, why all these triggers were triggering off, like my panic attacks and my eating disorder. I needed to find that in my inner self and get it out by colour. It was a lot by colour, meditation, visualizations. And by doing that, I was able to bring it out on canvas. And then when I look at the painting that I've done, it tells 1,000 stories. Okay, so I would look deep into that painting for myself, and then I would have a journal, because people say, oh, is that all you do? No, there's more to it. And I would do a journal for myself. So, and a lot actually comes out of that painting. And while I was doing that, I was able to go back to the counsellor and say, this is what's come out of me. And she was quite like interested in it herself, because although she's a counsellor, it's very different. It's
talk therapy kind of, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. You're just talking, she's listening, but give you kind of little tips on how to go about, you know, your trauma and everything. But it wasn't enough for me. So when I said, well, this is what I do, she thought, well, you know what? If this is working for you, keep going, keep doing it. And I became a counsellor myself, but I did this in a group in England a very long time ago, and I had various different people that came to me, and we did visualizations and everything, and we did do like paintings and that, and they got so much out of it. And because they said to me, Angela, I'm not a painter. I know, you don't have to be. All you need is colour in your mind. Once you've got that, you can do anything on paper or on canvas. And that's where I come in today, is that I did that. Then I came over and I moved over to Ireland, and, you know, I started working for a big organisation, and I worked with a lot of disability, you know, mentally and physically people, and I did a little bit of creation there as well.
You've a lot of experience, Angela, and it's so great that you were able to identify that the talk therapy, the counselling wasn't really doing it for you. And I've heard so many people, and we're all individuals, and it works for some people, but not for everybody, you know, and we all have our different needs, if you like, and different levels of trauma as well. And what I loved was that you were able to identify that didn't work for you. And then when you've done the art, and that, because it's an expression, it's, you know, when we talk about being expressive, we think of the voice, but we can be expressive in so many ways, and art is a great form of doing that. And you know, I often see children, when you ask them to draw pictures, you can tell a lot about the child, what's going on in the child's life, by the type of pictures that they draw, you know. And it's funny, like that, the mind, the brain does this as how we're feeling. And trauma is you know, I'm not a trauma coach, I'm a health coach and a sleep coach, and like, it is a very specialized area. And what I don't know if you know Dr. Gabor Mate. If you've ever heard of Dr. Gabor Mate, he does a lot of work around addiction and trauma. And actually look him up if you haven't heard of him, but I've learned so much from him. But he says about trauma, what he says, and I think this is really significant when we talk about trauma. So we're living, you know, you were saying about your panic attacks, and I've experienced many of them as well. And you feel like you feel like you're going to die. Like it's like really, really bad panic attacks. Now I can notice if there's one coming on, but they're not as severe, half as bad as what they used to be. And I have my toolkit now, what to do. But he says about trauma, he says it's not the trauma itself, like what happened. It's not what happened. It's it's the biological effect in the body that happens after. Is that your phone ringing? Do you want to?
It keeps going. It keeps ringing.
So someone's looking for you.
Yeah,
flight mode, maybe, seeing maybe that might stop it. But yeah, but Dr. Gabor Mate, I absolutely love what he teaches, and he does a lot of work around families and children. I'd love to get him on my podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
See. But yeah, he talks all, and that's when I heard him saying that about the trauma. It's the biological. So because it's not real, the brain perceives it as being real, even though something happened 20 years ago, whatever. So you specialize in this whole area, Angela, and it's through this creative. And I love what you said. You don't have to be an artist to do this work, because that's not what this is about.
No, it's not. It's not. That's what I keep telling people, because a lot of people are kind of like, when I come up, they go, what do you do? What does it mean? I'm not an artist. And again, I say, you don't have to be an artist. So it does take a little bit of time for people to kind of get it really, and understand where I'm coming from, because it is kind of new. It is new, and people don't. They're kind of scared, to be honest with you. I feel they understand. If you go to a counsellor, you talk.
Yeah.
You go to hypnotherapist, you're going to go under. But if you haven't done this before, and people don't know it, then they're going to go, well, what is this?
They have an expectation.
Yeah. So I have to kind of explain it in kind of detail. And until they do a couple sessions with me, then they start getting it. Then they go, right, we get it. We can do it, and then they stay with me until they feel that whatever it is inside them that is left there, until it comes out and explored, they stay with me. But to be honest with you, they don't stay very long, because it comes out very quickly.
Wow. I think what I can hear, Angela, is it's a process of trusting in the process, really.
It is.
And just whatever comes out is perfect, and to know that whatever comes out on that paper, it's perfect. It doesn't have to be. There's no right or wrong. I'm not good enough. There's none of that.
None of that.
There's not even room for that here, and that's not what this is about. It's just whatever comes out, and to know that whatever comes out on the piece of paper is perfect. So you don't have to worry. I mean, I'm not the best at drawing myself, and I have to say I am really excited about this event that we're going to be doing on the 27th. It's actually this Thursday, and we're going to talk about that now in a second. But like that, I'm not the best of an art. I used to be very good in school, but I'm just so excited at the process, and it's something very different. I'm very open to it, Angela. I'm very open, and I'm curious, and I think that's what people. If they bring that into the room with a curiosity and being open, trusting the process, then and then you can have fun, and that's what this is about. Because I think when we're in that space, then it allows to come up whatever needs to come up more easily. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah. And like on Thursday, we're not going into a session of trauma. That's not what it's all about. In this session, it's about having a little bit of fun, enjoying the process, like you said. So I won't be doing a trauma session. It will be more of your inner child coming out onto canvas in a nice way, in a loving way, in a happy way. So that, when I do a visualization, you have to visualize what I am actually saying to you. Right? And when you can visualize and listening to someone, you can see it. You can actually see it in your mind. Right? So once you've done that, when we finish the visualization, it's actually transferring whatever is in your mind onto the canvas.
Like a snapshot. Yeah.
It's like you might be in a playground and you might see the seesaw and the swing and that. You just pull it down.
And it could be just a splash of colours as well.
It could be a splash of colour. It could be anything, right? It could be the sea, the colour of the sea. It doesn't matter. It's whatever's coming out of your brain at that time. And then later on after that, we'll go round and we'll explore what the meaning of your painting is. right? Because it's not my meaning of the painting, it's what your meaning of your own painting, and that's what you're thinking at that moment, at that time.
You know, it reminds me of how we dream, Angela, just when you say that, when you say about the meaning of the painting. You know, we all have dreams, and we all think there's the book of dream interpretations. I have to laugh at this, you know, and there are some common themes, but really it's uniquely connected with you and what it means to you and why that image is coming up for you.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's an inquiry, really, isn't it? And it can be frustrating, but when you bring fun into it and curiosity again, you know, I wonder like what that means. But I think it's important to feel it in your body and to connect with that feeling, because we actually store so many emotions in our body. It's our body, and sometimes our body rules the mind.
Yeah, it
even,
does.
you know,
Yeah,
because we store all the emotions.
And I believe that, because you know, like I even believe as well that, you know, we all have physical problems as well. It could be anything. We could have conditions and everything. And I do believe that it is partly because we've been through some sort of drama in our life, you know, I call it drama, trauma, whatever. But it, you know, if we don't deal with it, it's going to be stored in our bodies, and it comes out in some way. So instead of that, if we can get it out and onto the canvas or onto paper, and you know, that's the way we verbally talk, is like that, and it's not in there anymore.
Like before language, Angela, you know, thousands of years ago, we communicated through various, like sign language, body language, you know, so we communicated this way. So there's various ways that we can communicate, and I even think language has become very distorted. We've you know, tones and all this. There's different ways of picking up on perceptions. When we talk about perception, oh God, that's a whole big conversation, how we perceive things. But Angela, I want to so you're a Vedic teacher as well. What's Vedic mean?
Vedic. It goes back quite a long way. It's done. It's something similar to what I do, you know, with my own process, but it's done in silence.
Wow, silence can be powerful.
Yes, it is.
For some people, and for some people, it's scary.
Yes. So we won't be doing that on Thursday, because that's a completely different process altogether. Very advanced, but also artists actually like doing that. You know, if you are like, you know, say a true artist, they do like going through that process because they get so much out of it. But there's a lot of things are in our bodies, like I said, in our minds, and we need to get it all out. But it is done in silence. And as a teacher, we actually just do a small outline of what they might need to do in one of the processes. Okay, so all they've got is words, and they think about these words that we actually tell them. You know, we talk, and then that's it. And then we're silenced for about an hour or so, and they have to just create on their own.
Because we've so many distractions, you know, in our everyday world, you know, and to be able to have that discipline and to feel safe in that space of the silence, and, you know, to have experienced it and to go inside, because this is where we actually have all our own answers. I really believe that.
That is it. We have got our own answers, but it's finding a way, a process to find that answer. Now, I'm not going to say, you know, every kind of discipline, any, you know, whatever you want to do, counselling, hypnotherapy, NLP, whatever it is.
There's hundreds of modalities.
Yeah, you have to find the right one for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You do, because otherwise it doesn't work. It won't work for you. And you've got to believe in that process. Right, otherwise there's no point doing it. So for me, you know, when I was doing the Vedic, has not a tutor, but I was just doing it myself. It was hard. It was hard because I like to talk. I like to, like, you know, move around and everything and create, but I had to be still. I had to be silent, and it was very, very hard. But when you went through the whole process, you could see what you could get out of it. And I have to show you, this is one of them actually today that I am actually giving away in November when we're doing the auction for CARI. And I will show you. I'll see if I can
turn off your and just before you show that, you can turn it off there while I'm speaking. Is oh my God, it can be very confronting, Angela, when we're doing this work. It can be very, very confronting, because you're really looking at the truth of who you are. And it's like you're telling one on yourself, when you rat on someone or whatever, it's like shining the light on the truth of who you are. And we're not all little angels, we all have stuff that we do, and we all lie. I remember doing this exercise. They asked in the group, who here lies? And very few people put their hand up, and the teacher said, well, you're all lying, because everybody lies. But Angela, that is amazing. Did you draw that?
This is not it. This is not it,
God.
Actually.
Oh, that's beautiful.
No, this is actually just a piece of cloth, actually. But no, this is just hanging on my wall. This is the one. Yeah, it is actually beautiful. It is. But this is the one that I'm giving away. Okay, so
wow.
All right, so
you have a name for it. It's like an angel. Or something.
Yeah, I know. You know what? With all my paintings, I don't give them names, because I feel that if you're drawn to the painting, you've got your own name for that painting.
It's like a fiery zest, kind of an angel to me. That's what it looks like.
And I do loads of angels, and that's probably my dancer angel, really. So it is like, look at me, I've done it, I've finished, I'm well, I'm happy, I'm on the go, I'm active.
So you've signed that, Angela, have you?
I have, I've signed it. Yeah, so it's really,
I see what you mean when you say, what does the painting mean to you that you've drawn, because that's the energy that you've put onto that canvas. And then different people can pick up their own meaning from somebody else's as well. I get that too.
Exactly.
Because it's whatever is there in your body that you're drawn to, so I really get that. Angela, you're so good donating that painting, and I just want to it's a really good cause. So just to tell people, we've touched on it there, but CARI is Children at Risk in Ireland, and I'm actually an ambassador for CARI. I'm their spokesperson, and I collaborated with Aisling, who is the leader of Dublin and Kildare. Mums in Business, and this is a global network in business all around the whole world, and every month they do like a give back, and Aisling has agreed with me to help to facilitate and do some fundraising for CARI to raise much needed funds for children at risk in Ireland. And at the moment CARI they've got 500 nearly 550, I think, just over 500 children on their waiting list, and it can sorry, I beg your pardon, 254, that's what it was, 254, but it would take 5 years. That's where I got the 5 from. Right. Take 5 years with their current funding to get through that list. And we all know that children can't wait, because early intervention is what children need. Children can't wait, like a 5-year-old can't wait till they're 10, like the trauma has really set in then. So this is the work that we're doing. So we're coming together this Thursday, the 27th of October. And so last minute calls now at this stage. So we're looking for a group of people to come along. You don't have to be an artist. It's €15 for a ticket, right? So €15 to come, and everything will be provided there on the day, I believe. And there's a lot of work gone into this, arranging it. It's going to be on in Selbridge do you know the name of the church?
The Bridge. Yeah, it's called the Bridge. Yeah,
the Bridge Church in Selbridge. Yeah. So that's where it's on. It's on at 10:30 until 12:30. So we're all going to meet there. We'll have a cup of tea and all that as well. So we'll get settled in. We'll meet everybody and have a little chat. But I'm really, really looking forward to Angela. And it's so we're going to go through this process. This is kind of a meditation, this visualization process. And you're going to mind everybody as well. You'll be going around and around minding everybody. And I think that's really, really important. And then what we're going to be doing is all the artwork that we all create, it's going to be auctioned. And all including your beautiful piece there, Angela. And we have some other donations as well from other very generous artists as well.
Oh, brilliant.
One of the ladies actually from CARI herself has donated a piece of art as well. So it's all going to be auctioned. So I've been working with Belinda Cairns on that as well, organising it, been auctioned. It's going to be on their website as well. But I will put the links in the show notes when we do get those. But I am going to put the link is coming up on the screen there now, well, it will be in when it's edited. And the link for to book for this Thursday, the 27th of October, it's €15 and it's for a very good cause. And God knows, you know, you never know what will come up for you on that day. When you're there and you're minded and you're with a very well qualified facilitator in this whole area of trauma as well. And you know, trauma can be, you know, there's different levels when we try to distinguish or, you know, say what trauma is. It's very different. It's very different
for everybody. Yeah, it's a big range. You can't, you know, and there's no one trauma is not bigger than the other trauma, because it's how you feel and how you cope with it all. You know, it's everyone is different and an individual. So yeah, come along, you know, on
it's going Thursday. To be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing Aisling again. Aisling has got a massive big heart. I mean, the work that she has put, I really have to acknowledge her as well, like the work that she's put in, you know, all the social media campaigns and the press releases and everything, you know, there's a lot of work, and I've been doing a lot on my back end as well. I've interviewed Colm O'Brien, I've interviewed Aisling as well, and sent out a couple of press releases. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's all for a good cause. And you know, really it's all about creating that awareness for CARI as well, letting people know that CARI exists. So they do have an office in Dublin, which they only opened recently, and they have another head office down in Limerick as well. So, and I've met all the therapists down there. Emer O'Neill, who's the head therapist, and she's absolutely gorgeous. She's just all the time in the world. I've had many conversations, but it's CARI are just, what I love about CARI is, you know, like it's a terrible you know, it's terrible in a way that they have to do that work at all, you know, and the severity of it and the pressure that there is out there. But I really admire anybody who does this type of work, like yourself, Angela, because, you know, it's you're really helping somebody through something that's been stopping them, you know. And in many ways, a lot of people are not aware where it's stopping them or limiting them in their life. They're carrying on, they think life is normal, but there could be something that's limiting them from being shown up at their fullest potential. And I've learned that actually in the last year and a half, 2 years. You know, I've cleared something else, and I've been doing this work for years, since 2011. And you know, it's like the onion, you know, and when you're ready, another bit will shed off, you know. And that's what this is all about, not being too hard on yourself and just going along with it, going with the flow and minding yourself and taking it easy, because that's something that we don't do, Angela. But Angela, we're coming to the end. I want to wrap up, and but I just really want to acknowledge you for doing this work. And as I say, all this art is going to be auctioned, and we'll be giving it away then at the Christmas fair. So the date has to be confirmed. It might be the end of October, or sorry, November, the end of November even. Yeah, the end of November. So that's going to be, it could even be the first week in December, but all the dates will be forwarded, so that they're to be confirmed. But I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm hoping people can be generous. And, you know, like there's healing in art in any, you know, with the even the colours, there's vibrations and colours themselves, you know. So
the power of
and I've taken up art lessons. I'm starting out. There's a lady, talk about synchronicity. I really believe in synchronicity. There's a lady, I just bumped into her down the town, right?
Oh wow.
And I was talking to her, and she was saying about doing the art. And I've actually been looking for an art teacher for my daughter. She's 12, and my daughter is brilliant at art. She's very, very, very artistic. She's very talented. But I was actually looking for something for her. But I've always said for years, I'd love to go back to drawing again, you know, because it's expressive, like what you say, you know, for the therapeutic value of it, you know. And this lady, I met her down the town, and she said, I'm going to be starting up art lessons. So she took my phone number, and she said, I'll text you when I'm doing the classes. So she texted me there. So she's starting them in 2 weeks' time, and I'm doing a 4-week course for her. And so she's doing it 4 weeks at a time. So so that's to you, Angela, as well, you know, because I think I'm getting the vibe of doing the art. So
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. No, I think it doesn't matter how old you are. It could be young, old, whatever. Art would always be there. You can just pick up a pencil, a crayon, a brush, whatever, and just get on with it. You know, it's not about, you know, getting taught how to do something. It's about just going within. Go within.
It's really you're really in the moment, aren't you? Because you're just focused on this piece. So you're just focused on it, and you're focused on connecting what's there to come out, like, you know, and you're really, and I think that's the beauty of it, Angela, because we're really connected with ourselves. So we're not distracted with the outside world like we usually are every day, you know, every moment of the day with mobile phones and people and all of this. And I think it's really important to have that focus on and that quiet time as well, you know, and however much you can cope with, you know, because as you say, some people don't like the quiet time, but I think the more you practice it, the easier it gets, and the more wowed you are by it, by what comes up, you know, and because your body is always speaking to you, you know, it really is. So Angela, listen, where can people find you? Do you have a website or that you want to just call out?
You know what? I'm on Facebook. I'm called colourworks.ie. Colourworks, you'll find me on Facebook. There's a business page there. Just Colourworks from Angela Peacock. I do have a group actually on Facebook. It's called the Trauma Lounge. So if any, like the Trauma Healing Lounge, if anyone is suffering from trauma, any woman, and they need help, then they can obviously come in and I will guide them. And we do a bit of work there as well. So
fantastic. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Angela, for providing that. That's brilliant. Listen, Angela, thank you so much. Just want to acknowledge you again for the amazing work you're doing. It takes a lot of courage and perseverance and strength and everything. And I just love connecting with people like yourself, Angela. And thank you for participating in this project as well. So have a wonderful day, Angela. And thank you so much.
Again. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.
I do hope you are enjoying these conversations, and to help me continue pushing these videos and audio podcasts together, I do have an ask. I do need support to help me to keep bringing you knowledge and insights. There is a Patreon link, patreon.com/empowering family health, or you can make a donation via PayPal. All the links are in the description and the pinned comment. You can do a one-off or you can do a monthly support. So I'd really appreciate that. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Take care.